and then we'll just add it. Okay. All right. Hello, ladies. This is Tiffany, and I am going to be sharing with you some of the basic information about Lessoneer. I think it is, as Casey and I said, a really fabulous resource for being able to support you and your grade level in your instruction and your planning. So we'll start actually with the building block tab over here. Okay. So you'll notice that you've got different available standards. ELD, ELA, math, and science. Let's say we start with ELA. You'll notice along the top that you have the different grade levels you can choose from. All right, so we'll go with third for the moment. They're kind of middle of the road. And you'll see the standards here. If you continue to scroll down, you'll continue to see all the different standards that are available. Okay. Now let's say we go to Reading for Literature 3.1. If I was to click here or details, it's going to take me to the same page, which breaks it down. We've got the standard in English and in Spanish. We can see how it is attached to the anchor standard. We can also see how it relates to the other grade levels and their standard. Get that progression. It unpacks the standard, basic concepts that are being covered, and skills. It also gives you I can statement for the standard, and it shows you specifically how it's related to the ELD standard, which would be supported when you're doing integrated ELD. We'll get back to that in a second. So if we're looking at language, you've got academic vocabulary, questions, stems, and prompts, sentence frames, all related to that one specific standard. In addition, you've got the Lexile information and stories that would attach to that standard as well. Okay? It'll show you how that standard would be seen in a performance task, as well as the claims and targets for SBAC. If I was to continue to go down, I've got teacher materials that I can quickly click on that are again related to that standard. We'll go back to that in a second. So if I go back up to how it's attached to the ELD standard, if I was to click details again, now I'm seeing how the standard is supporting emerging, expanding, and bridging students. I've got sentence frames for each of those language levels. I can click here to see how I'm going to scaffold and support according to Bloom's and Webb's depth of knowledge. I've got, again, some I can statements. And it shows us how we can relate, again, that ELD standard to other ELA standards. On the side, you've always got a spot where you can take notes. So as something comes to you, as you want to remember something, you can just make that a note. Make sure that it's private, and then you can see it and refer to it whenever you want to. Now, if I go back to our building blocks tab with the one standard reading literature 3.1, and I continue to go down, I can see how it is attached to SBAC. So if I was to click target 1, it's going to show me what evidence is required on SBAC, some examples of what students need to do in the test, okay, and it gives me a sample item from SBAC. If I go back again to my building blocks tab and I move down to the bottom, you'll notice again we do have different text that we could pull. So if I wanted to click on this, now I have a lesson plan that attaches to that standard. That is from readworks.org. I've got the lesson, notes from the teacher, a breakdown of what that lesson would look like in DII format, which is really cool. I can see the materials and the text that would be attached to that lesson, and again, how it aligns to standards. That can be seen for every grade level, every standard. science, ELA, math, and ELD, which is really awesome. If I was to go to the collections tab, then I see additional material that I could pull from. You've got the framework. You've got speeches. Let's say I'm doing math and I want to look on Mathlicious. Okay? Then I've got the components that I can pull from, and here are specific lessons or activities that will support students in math. Okay? Let me go back to collections. So again, this is a really great thing because I've got evidence statements for the next generation science standards. I've got ReadWorks. I've got TED Ed. So there's lots of different valuable online resources and tools that are all in one place that you can maybe pull from to attach to what you're doing with your kiddos. And then we've got the curricula tab. Again, not only do we have our Eureka available to us online, as well as Irvine Math Project, but there are other publishers that are listed here. Some of them may not necessarily be what we adopt. What we adopt will be put in here later, but at least for right now, you've got a plethora of resources that you can pull from to support you in your instruction, including ELA, Engage New York. Okay? Benchmark Advanced, which is again one of our pilot options. So let's say I was going to go to Engage New York Math, first grade. I would be able to pick a module. I could pick the specific topic. I could pick the lesson, and it's all right there for me. The exit ticket, the homework, the problem set, everything in one place. And again, you pretty much have that for all of these different curriculum programs. Not everything is as complete as Engage New York, obviously. However, there are lots of resources that you can pull from that you can use to add and supplement your instruction. And that's just a quick overview on Lessoneer. What I'd like for you to do, hopefully by next week, is to let me know if this is something you're interested in. That way I can give your name to Stacy so that we can get you a license and get you using this as quickly as possible. Thank you so much.